Facebook family and YouTube family. Welcome to another Sunday evening session with Brian and Janice. We are so delighted again to have you with us on this beautiful Labor Day Sunday weekend. It has been a beautiful weekend, and I hope everybody is well and enjoying this beautiful weather, even though it's a little hot. I know we got a lot going on this weekend. Beginning of football season, which is always exciting for everyone.
Yes, it is.
And that is so amazing to me. And it's just a good time to be happy and to be, well and excited and getting ready for all the new things that the fall is going to bring to us.
Yes.
So this is my favorite time of the year. Everybody knows that. Well, Brian knows that because it's my birthday coming up.
She said that last week.
I did, and I'll say it every session until my birthday actually gets here. Hint, hint.
Well, we need to make your birthday today so you won't say it next session.
Okay, that'll be fine, but I'll say it next session. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We truly have a very exciting show for you all this week. It is going to be very enlightening. It's going to help you understand so many dynamics of what's actually going on in our communities and our community, and communities surrounding us. I know I don't get to talk much because I'm learning from Brian as well as you guys are. But what I do want to share with you is that we have 64 days left until a monumental election is on the way.
Yes.
So I encourage you to do your research, to listen, study the platforms, know the policies of each and every one of the opponents that's running. Don't just go on a whim. Actually think about what you feel that particular candidate can do for you and yours collectively. I know a lot of people say, well, it doesn't matter anyway. Well, that's not so true. So if you feel that way, do it for those that led the way for us to vote before us. Okay? So without further ado, I want to bring Brian on, and he's going to take it out the park.
All right. Good evening, Facebook family. Good evening, YouTube family. We've got some interesting things to talk about. First, let me start with saying this, and I am going to validate why I am saying this, okay? We have started a GoFundMe page called Rebuilding Lives, Aid for Selma Storm Survivors. Go to our GoFundMe. Some of you all may have already gotten the actual link to the page. If not, we will post it on our Facebook page, on Janice's Facebook page.
It's already there.
Okay, it's already there. We need you to do this. And I'm going to say this. This is an opportunity to prove to the weak and to the inconsistent so-called leadership there in Selma that when people pull together, they can get things done. Now, like I said, I'm going to validate why we have taken the initiative to do this to help some of those people, families that are suffering. We may not can reach everyone, but if we can reach 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we can make a difference.
Yes, we can.
Because too much as it relates to the waiting process.
Yes.
Too much has been said and not enough done.
Exactly.
Okay? So it's up to the people to take care of themselves.
Yes, it is.
So I often say this, Black people, until you love yourself, you cannot love other people. Okay, point blank, that's just the way it is. So when you're talking about loving other people, when we talk about loving our brothers and sisters that are of the European descent, that are of the Hispanic descent, that are of the Asian descent, oftentimes we say we love them over loving each other. So what I'm saying today, that is incorrect. There's no way that you can love other people when you don't love yourself, when you don't love your own people. That is a falsity that has been presented to distract us from coming together and supporting one another and from getting things done. So this is what we have to think about, Janice. Black people are the most divided people in the nation.
And that's no secret.
Okay? And that is, if you look at the stats, you'll find out that today we are more divided as a people group. Okay? It's not the old racist terrorist groups that are killing us anymore and dividing us.
It's ourselves.
We're doing it to each
ourselves.
other.
That's exactly right.
You understand?
Yes.
More than we
Anybody
can say
else.
those other groups. Okay? So what I'm doing is I believe in black people. Okay?
Yes,
so
you do.
this is a clarion call.
Yes, it is.
Now, I'm going to see who's serious and all of those that say they love Selma. Watch this now. I'm going to find out who the fakes are. I want the fakes to be exposed. Even the people that live in Selma that say, Brian, oh, you don't live here, you're too hard on us. Forget that. Okay, forget the excuses. No more excuses. I want to find out, these are for people that live in Selma, people that used to live in Selma. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
Here are all the fakers. I want all the fakers. Because I'm going to find out who the fakers are. I want all the fakers that talk about they love Selma and, oh, that man shouldn't have said this about Selma. Selma used to be beautiful. Used to, that's fine. But I'm talking about what is going on right now in Selma, Alabama, that is a disgrace to the state of Alabama, and it is a disgrace to the nation of Alabama. The way the poor people are being treated in Selma, if somebody don't step up and do something, I mean, it won't get done. Things will not get done. So this is an opportunity for us to show what people can do when they love each other.
And they come together.
And when they come together.
Definitely, absolutely.
What are the plans, Brian? This is what we're going to do. We started the GoFundMe page.
Yes.
Okay? The goal is $8,000. That's a small goal. Let me say that. That is a small goal. Okay? Say it one more time. That is a small goal.
Very small.
It is simply a test to see if black people are willing to put their money where their mouth is. So I want all my bourgeois fakers, all that the ones that say they love Selma, but yet don't want to invest in Selma. I need y'all. Okay? I need you all. Those that are going to give, my elders, I know they're going to give.
Oh, yeah, they already have.
They are, listen, we just put it out yesterday. I had people calling me, Janice will tell you, some of my friends that are European
Yes.
called me from other states and said, Brian, we are going to support it.
Exactly.
Just let us know what you need. Now, these are some of my friends.
Yes, they are.
Saying, we believe in your cause, in your fight to help those people.
And they are not of your nationality.
I said European.
Okay. All right.
So, listen, I want all the brothers and sisters that say, I'm saying it again, I'm repetitive, that love Selma. Okay? We were in Selma this morning.
Yes.
We attended First Baptist church service. Shout out to First Baptist.
Awesome service.
Shout out to the young man that brought the message today.
Pastor Leonard.
Okay? All of that good stuff. We get all of that out of the way. But we had an opportunity to ride down the streets. We had an opportunity to ride across the city. You understand what I'm saying? And we have not seen any progress in spite of all of the promises. Y'all stay with me. So we started the page, brothers and sisters. This is what I need you to do. Any family that you know, right now we're targeting helping 8 families.
Yes.
That are in need, that were affected either by the tornado from last year in January.
Yes.
Or either the storm.
From
Okay.
2 weeks ago.
From 2 weeks ago. To email me. This is what I need in the email. Let me tell you what the email is. The email is mawad@gmail.com. That is Men and Women of Destiny. That's what the acronym stands for. So it's M as in Mary, A as in Alpha, W as in woman, O as in Oscar, D as in Delta, mawad@gmail.com.
And if you don't know
Okay.
it, they can
Well,
inbox me.
we will put it on
Yes,
Facebook.
on our
Okay,
page.
we will
Yes.
put it on Facebook, the email. What do I need in the email? I need an introduction of who the family is. That's number one. I need to know just a little bit. I don't need you to write a whole bio about the family, but I need you to tell me about the family. Okay, this is for Selma residents. This is not for somebody that's moved there recently. This is for Selma residents that were affected by the tornado or by the storm.
Exactly.
Okay, so we need to know a little bit about the family. We need to know what happened as it relates to how they were affected.
Yes.
Was their home affected? Did the tornado destroy their home?
Yes.
Okay, did it cause them to be homeless?
Yes.
If it didn't cause them to be homeless, did it cause a financial burden?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
do they have children? And they may be in a situation where their children are in need. Okay, we need that information in the email. So we need the introduction. We need to know how they were affected. Okay. And the condition of what they are dealing with at this moment.
Exactly.
As it relates to financial distress, even if it's mental distress, I don't care what it is.
Yes.
Okay? Put it in there, because we will also help direct them to some resources to deal with other issues that they also may have. Okay? So once this month's end, we're going to go through all of September. The GoFundMe page is going to be there until we hit that goal. And then after we hit that goal, we're going to deliver $1,000 to each family that is selected, okay, to help them in the process of the recovery. They are survivors. We are the strongest people in the world. We are resilient. Okay, so we have been hearing that over and over and over and over by the mayor, by the city leadership. We're resilient, hold out, hang on. All of these adjectives that tell us to keep faith, but yet nothing is being done.
So what are you going to do
So
about
we
it?
have to ourselves, the people have to take the. I've said this over and over. If you're waiting on your government to do something for you,
You'll be waiting to help.
we have been waiting over 400 years. Okay?
Yes.
It is just not going to happen. Not the way that you think it is. When black people flourish, it's because they band together, they organize, and they do for self. Okay? So that has, for some reason, left our spirit. And we have been conditioned now through propaganda networks. Okay? We have been conditioned through music that is unhealthy for our children.
Social media.
We have been conditioned through social media.
Yes.
Okay? We have literally been turned into zombies. Understand what I'm saying here. We have literally, our minds have been co-opted by things that have been put in place to continue to keep us below. Now, it's not at the bottom anymore. We're below the pyramid. We have been buried. We need to understand that.
You know,
Okay?
it's almost like our brains have been calcified
We have.
by social media, by network, by technology.
By everything. By everything. And what I'm saying is that the government is the leading culprit of our brainwashing. And I keep saying this. Black people got to get this. We are the main target in this country. Understand why. Let me just say this before I go into details to validating why I'm doing what I'm doing in reference to trying to help these people in Selma. Okay? But let me just say this. Every other nation that the United States wronged, they have given reparations. And nations that they have not wronged, they have given reparations. Whether it be the Japanese for the internment camps when they came over here, and the Chinese when they came over to the U.S. and helped build the railways and some of the road infrastructure in the actual bridges that we cross now. When we dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we paid reparations to them. We paid reparations to the Chinese. Understand this. And we didn't really have anything to do with the opium crisis that was being placed on them through the French, you understand, and the European nations that were pushing them to allow opium to come in as a trade commodity, okay? And then all the Chinese, they went through a drug epidemic that country with opium by way of European nations. We really didn't have anything to do with that, but we paid reparations in some form. Okay, we paid reparations, like I said, when some of the Chinese came over here and we asked them to come over here as immigrants to help with the railways. We paid reparations to certain families that were killed. Every nation, when we look at the Jewish people, okay, the nation of Israel, we had nothing to do with the actual Holocaust, but we were sensitive enough to recognize that they need help, and we paid them reparations each year. Each year, the United States give to the nation of Israel at least $5 million each year, just as a token of our friendship, reparations, okay? Listen, if you, right now, black people make up 13% of the United States. If you take that 13% of black people that are in this country right now, okay? But that's I think what is roughly like 22 million somewhere around there.
Right at 22,
okay.
21, 22
If you give each, right now, they can give each black family that identifies themselves
as
on their census as African or black, okay, that checks that box. You can give each family right now $2 million apiece, roughly it'll be about $52 million. You can do that right now. The United States, $52 billion, right? $52 billion.
Yeah.
Right now, the United States could print that money up and stroke a check to each African American family. We only make up 12 to 13% of this U.S. population. But because we have hoodwinked and bamboozled representatives in the Congress that will fight for everybody else's rights except for the people rights that helped to build this country and helped to settle this country and did more than any other group in this country by way of labor, because we have hoodwinked state leadership, we have bamboozled state leadership, we have black leadership that put on white masks, dance to the master music, they tap dance all around. What really is the problem? And the problem is that they have conformed to this government that doesn't care anything about black people. And we are so hoodwinked that we jump on the duopoly bandwagon year after year after year after year, throw our support behind people that are not saying anything about us, but they say everything about everybody else. And it is our own fault. So, yes, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of dealing with black folks that don't understand the dynamic of what our experience is on this continent, on this so-called, in this land called the U.S. And it's frustrating because we promote our own oppression over everybody else now. See, we can't continue to make up excuses about why we can't do something, why we can't get together. We can't continue to complain when we continue to let other groups come in. We jump on their bandwagon, we support them, while our communities continue to go to hell in a handbasket. Okay? And all we doing is churching and having a good time, revivaling and going from conference to conference.
And not helping nobody.
Ain't helping nobody, ain't learning nothing.
Nothing.
Okay? So it is as unfortunate as it may be.
Sad commentary.
Somebody has got to step up and say enough is enough. Enough using my people. Enough lying to my people. And, you know, I'm really grateful that I have the spirit of my ancestors. I have the spirit of a Marcus Garvey and a Malcolm and a King in his latter years as he began to wise up that we don't, like I said, we don't ever want to talk about, because the European nation called the United States have sanitized King and actually co-opted him as their own, have actually taken him away from the African American community that he fought so hard for, and then sold him back to us as a puppet for them and a puppet for everything being hunky-dory, lovey-dovey, nirvana, quote-unquote, kumbaya, all of these things. We have been brainwashed to the nth degree, as they would say in the hood. We need to get it together. And it starts locally. It starts with state government. It starts with saying enough sending the bourgeois, sold out Negro that's got black skin but a white mind to Congress, to the Senate. What we have to do, and I'm going to say this again and keep saying it, if we don't organize our own party, we will never get anything. Like I said, we're below the pyramid now. We're not at the bottom anymore. We are below the pyramid now. Look, when you look at immigration, why is immigration such a big deal for one party as it relates to the influx of immigrants coming in? The reason that immigration is so important to one particular party is because their vote usurps the authority of the African American vote. This is what that party is saying. We're going to generate the vote of African American people based on the status of the educated black folks. Those are the ones that are going to get out and vote. The uneducated black people, or what they call the low educated black people, they're not going to go out and vote. So here's the thing. The focus is bring enough immigrants in to make up for the disparity in the count of the vote. Get enough immigrants in because they will go out and vote. Okay, let's get their representatives on board. Let's promise them what we're going to do for them. We're going to give them free health care. We're going to give them free education. We're going to give them free housing. We're going to give them free meals. All of these things. Okay, bring in the Asians, highly educated, because they will go out and vote for their interests. So let's get Asian representatives that will lobby for Asian people. Yes. But when it comes to black people, okay, they look at us as being so ignorant and so ill-informed that they have put in place a replacement policy for your vote. Because they do not believe black people have enough common sense to vote in their interests. So they sell us other folks' interests and then make it seem like it is black folks' interest is included. Okay? So the whole, like I said this on one show, the whole inclusivity movement is a joke. It is a joke. It is not meant to benefit black folks. My college brothers and sisters don't buy it. My brothers and sisters that are listening to me do not buy. Inclusivity means exclusion for black people. Inclusivity means brown people, which are your mulattoes now, the management class that they're putting in place. It means Hispanic people. It means Asian people. Okay? It means Indian people. It means LGBTQIA. in any other part of the alphabet that they want to include. It does not mean African American. Okay? That's how simple that is. So don't buy into the inclusivity prank that they're pulling on us. If you do some reading, you'll find out that the whole movement of inclusivity, which they say, quote unquote, kicked off because white people felt sorry for what happened to Brother George Floyd. Okay? The movement was not started by a brother or a sister that felt sorry for our brother, but it was started by a foundation, a government foundation, you understand what I'm saying, that felt sorry for our brother. So corporate America bought into it to appease the country and to tone down. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the same thing happened in 91, 92 with the Rodney King beating.
Yes, it did.
Okay? America, at that time, black people got so angry and so upset. America had to do something to appease and to calm down the anger of black people. So they always give us token handouts. You understand what I'm saying? Because our memory is so short. You know, if they give us something just to commemorate, put a picture of George Floyd's face on a billboard, make a statue of him and put him in a national park, put his name on a street sign, their Negroes won't remember that the Constitution had left them out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just name a street after him and just do something to commemorate him. Okay. So who was it? It was President Bill Clinton that said about Negroes. He said, give black people memorabilia and something commemorative, and you don't ever have to worry about creating laws to help them. Now here's the president that black Democrats and Republicans dance over. You understand? Okay. So who was it? President Ronald Reagan said that we have to remember that the blacks are descendants of apes. Now, see, this is what I'm saying, and that with an ape mentality and an ape knowledge, we have to feed them what's equivalent to bananas. So, and as long as we can give them their meal when they beat their chest, you understand, and grunt a little bit to calm them down, they won't recognize and realize that they're really not a part of this system. You understand? So when you talk about, that's why it's so important for us to understand who we are and to understand how other people see us in history. Now, I don't want to paint every European with a broad brush, because there were Europeans that stood with us in our struggle, in all phases of our struggle in this country. Beginning at 1619 with the first coming off the Mayflower, okay, you understand what I'm saying? Up to the Revolutionary War, okay, from the Revolutionary War to the Spanish-American War, and I can go on and on. We had Europeans that stood with our plight. So I'm not painting all Europeans with a broad brush. What I'm telling you is that the system was designed so that black people could not fully integrate or participate in it. And when you think you're getting ahead just because you may have been privileged enough, or you may be the exception to the rule, to get you a nice house or a nice car, doesn't mean that you are accepted. Okay? Doesn't mean that you have made it. Let me tell you, you have not made it. And you're going to find out sooner than later that you are in the same category as your brother and sisters in the ghetto. Now, that's just facts. If you don't believe me, do the research. You don't have to take my word for it. Do the research. Now, let me get back to our GoFundMe. I'm preaching, I know it, but forgive me, family.
Oh,
But
he's so
this
wrong.
has just got me fired up because we need to do something. Like I said, now, this for all my fakers out there. I want all my fakers, all my haters, put your money where your mouth is. Let's see how much you love Selma. You've been gone from Selma 20 years.
30, 40.
30, 40, whatever it may be. You done took your uppity self with your high-class profession, and you done moved out your hometown. You understand what I'm saying? But you don't want anybody to talk about your hometown. Well, I'm trying to help your hometown. So, fakers, haters, I need y'all to step up. Okay? And make Brian Watts a liar. Put your money where your mouth is. I'm putting my money where my mouth is for my people. I do it all the time. For me, it's just like walking and breathing. I've always helped black people. You understand what I'm saying? Have gone, like I said, I got receipts. If you want to come over here one day and talk to me, you're more than welcome. I don't restrict anybody. Come over, I will show you the receipts. Janice will tell you, I got receipts from 40 years. I still got all my military receipts from every base. You understand what I'm saying? So that's okay. So I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm doing this because I love the people. You understand what I'm saying? And because I've been mandated by a creator that said I came to the poor and the downtrodden. And he didn't come lying. You understand what I'm saying? He did not erect a pulpit and say, yeah. No. He told the people the truth. And not only did he tell the people the truth, he called out those religious leaders that were wolves, snakes, and devils. That's what he called them.
He did that.
Okay? So see, I follow a Christ that's a little bit different from the bourgeois up there trying to preach a good sermon and won't tell the people the truth. But they have educated anyway. Most of them have never gone to a theology school and have never taken it upon themselves to really do the research and study to see what the scriptures is really saying. But they sit down and they put together a good sermon. Now you don't even need that. All they got to do is AI a sermon now. So that's a subject for another day. But let me get back to, I said this 30 minutes ago. Let me get back to why I am doing this.
Okay, Brian.
Okay. All right, here. Published February the 15th, 2024. The disasterphilanthropy.org said the United Way of Selma in Dallas County in support of Selma long-term recovery. Watch this. They gave $200,000 to help restore the homes and the lives of those affected by the January the 12th tornado in 2023. Keep up. I want you to do the math.
How much was
$200,000.
Okay.
February the 15th, 2024, that was reported by disasterphilanthropy.org. The United Way of Selma in Dallas County in support of Selma long-term recovery received $200,000. The United Way of Selma.
Okay.
They received $200,000. That was reported. Okay? February the 15th, 2024. February the 26th, 2024. Black Belt News said, City Planning Director Danielle Wooten said the city has received $21.3 million in federal report. She reported that the city had received. Received means that is in the bank. This report, or this was a report at the city council meeting on February the 13th, 2024. And she stated that several projects are in design, and I quote, are in design in bid stages and should begin in the next few months. That was at the February the 13th, 2024 city council meeting. Next few months to me means 2 or 3 months. So February, March, April, May. And I still don't see any real progress going on. February the 27th, 2024, it was reported by WSFA. Selma receives $2 million to resurface streets damaged in the 2023 tornado. Do the math now, keep up with this. They were awarded the monies through Delta Regional Authority. This was to resurface Broad Street, east to Marie Foster, and J.L. Chestnut to First Avenue. This was considered to be Disaster Area 1. The city stated that this would revitalize downtown and create economic opportunity. That's what the mayor stated. $2 million was received. It was awarded. WSFA reported it. They stood in front of the news cameras with the check. Hear what I'm saying? And I have not, we rolled down J.L. Chestnut today. J.L. Chestnut is not being resurfaced. Marie Foster is not being resurfaced. This was February the 27th, 2024. I'm showing you something here. Reported April the 22nd, 2024. Terry Sewell met with the mayor and city leaders in the council chambers. Sewell reported that $24 million in federal funds, which included $7.4 million, had been reimbursed to the city from FEMA. Total FEMA funding to Dallas County of $22 million included public and individual assistance. Sewell reported that there was slow progress on the east and west side of Selma, but progress was being made. The mayor reported that over 40% of the housing had been damaged. He pointed to public-private development of homes on Washington Street as a partial solution. Quote, he said, "We cannot look at what is there now, but we have to look at what is coming. I still do not see the coming. It's still coming. And we're a year and a half in. I don't see the weak leadership standing up there saying, enough is enough. Where is the money? Matter of fact, I think Selma got to have the most millionaires in the state of Alabama. Because I just counted about what? About $25, $26 million? Somebody got it. I wish y'all would give me $1 million. I'll do something for the people with it. I'm not finished. Here were the 3 priorities that the mayor and the city development committee highlighted: replacing housing, economic development, and rebuilding infrastructure. Those were the 3 priorities. Now, it is a disgrace. I will say this in defense for the Selma, because, and I'm going to go through this. Because of the way the Alabama Constitution reads, Selma can't do anything without the approval of the Alabama legislature. So if you have weak leadership for Dallas County, the city of Selma, in the legislature that don't know how to fight, don't know how to raise their voice, don't know how to actually articulate issues, and actually put some paper in front of somebody and began to mandate and rally those people that live in Dallas County, that lives in Selma, Alabama, you're not going to get anything, because that is the way the Constitution was written. Pretty much it condemned Selma, watch this now, for being a significant part of the ending of the Civil War. And that condemnation is still in place, and you do not have Negroes that are so educated they're dumb and ignorant about how to truly fight. Somebody should be fighting that Selma should not have to go directly through the state of Alabama legislature to try to get something done, waiting with their hand out like a little puppy dog, and the state legislature have to come pat them on their head. Okay, all right, Toby, now you be a good dog. That's the size of it. Right? Let me finish. It was stated that there was a tragedy. Or it was stated that there was a tragedy, but in the midst of the tragedy, listen to what they said. The leadership of Selma said that to help in replacing housing, that they had entered a strategy to use Section 8 vouchers to pay rent and mortgages. So they entered a strategy that I'm still trying to figure out this.
I can't get that.
They have a strategy to use Section 8 vouchers to help pay rent and mortgages. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go through the details of Section 8 and how that worked. But a strategy to use Section 8, okay. But that's what the mayor said. February the 30th, 2024.
No 30th.
No, this is February the 30th.
Okay.
This is February the 30th.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
keep
right.
going down.
Okay.
Reported by Black Belt News. The city of Selma has received a $1 million grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to support an affordable housing initiative. Here's another $1 million. The grant was a result of a partnership of Auburn University Rural Studio Front Porch Initiative with the City of Selma Planning and Development, Selma Housing Authority, Black Belt Communities Foundation, Auburn University Outreach, and the Alabama Cooperation Extension System. One more $1 million. I wish some of them millionaires in Selma would call Brian Watts and make a donation of about $2 million to Watts Home Investors so we can build some homes in Selma for my people. Will some of you Negroes that have got the money in your pocket call Brian Watts? I will give you my number. Email me, please.
That's not going to happen, Brian.
Yeah, it should happen because the Negroes have got the money. Okay? That is who is in control. That is who is the money is going to. Now they have to allocate it, parcel it out, do whatever you do. The politics games you play. You understand what I'm saying? And you've lined your pocket. Will you please call me and give me $2 million so I could build some housing? Or at least get it started? And I can get a construction company out there by the end of next week. And we can call a news conference and talk about the housing development that we want to put. Will one of you Negroes that's been stole about $2 or $3 million, please call me?
Brian.
Okay, let me move on. July the 1st, 2024. I told y'all I was going to update you and keep y'all informed. Selma's not the only city, okay? Selma right now, because I was there today and very disappointed, by the way, of what I saw. You understand what I'm saying? And still news about the water, even though it's Dallas County related, Selma's a part of Dallas County.
Yeah.
Okay? And when you got young women on the news talking about the water situation.
And the garbage.
And the garbage situation, it just continues to
and
speak.
There's still no solution.
Yeah,
with the
and
garbage
it continues to speak to the erosion of our people and nobody doing nothing to address the situation. Okay? So, July the 1st, 2024, Selma to begin the first phase of the $4.5 million riverfront project. This project would provide a recreational path and scenic overlook, plus a landing for aquatic traffic. How many Negroes own boats in pontoons, on bass boats and pontoon boats that's going to be riding on the Alabama River, pulling up to a wet bar. How many Negroes in Dallas County own that? Do you have those stats?
No, I don't.
Okay. I don't have anything bad to say about the scenic park because we need to walk because we're too fat. Okay. So we need a park. Let me go on. That is the report of Selma, Alabama. Now, I could talk about the riverfront development from a standpoint of having to wait almost 10 years because of the erosion of the banks right there off of Water Avenue.
Yes.
Okay? Took them 10 years to get the Army Corps of Engineers out there to build up the land so that they could do something with it. Okay? But at least they did. Okay? But our black folks are asleep in Selma, Alabama. And the Negroes that are in charge want to keep them asleep. Keep them like zombies. Keep them walking around, keep them driving around, tearing up their cars with potholes in the street. Do a little resurfacing on Broad Street to the Interpretive Center and the buildings by the Interpretive. I don't know how many times you're going to resurface the Interpretive Center building. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, just drive over Edmund Pettus Bridge, look at the nice little, we put a little civil rights monument down there. There's Bill Clinton, saying that give Negroes memorabilia or something commemorative, and they'll forget that we don't write policies that really help them. What else you going to put down there? Why don't you make the city a historic city? Why don't you put the whole city on the historical register and then start demanding something of substance from the federal government to rebuild a historic city that was the foundation of helping to actually get voting rights in this country? You understand what I'm saying? Why don't you start advocating again for the John Lewis Voting Rights Act that will solidify voting rights permanently and stop having to renew them every 20 years for Negroes? Why don't you do something that's substantive? You understand what I'm saying? Okay, I still haven't seen the economic prosperity coming. This is what they said. The revitalization of the downtown area is going to help increase economic growth and revitalize the city. When we rode down Broad today, when we rode all over the city, trash everywhere. Grass haven't been cut. Negroes that are in charge do not care. And until they start caring, the people are not going to care.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly right, yes.
While they're planning for a daggone 50 or 60th, whatever, and a bridge crossing ceremony, you planning for that when you got trash all over the city. What kind of dumb Negroes are leading the city? Now, this is going to get out, yes. Everybody's going to be, Brian being too hard on these people. Well, let me move away from Selma. Let me talk about just a little bit why Selma's in the condition that it's in, and it's because of the Alabama Constitution that nobody will address. You understand what I'm saying? I don't hear not one black leader in any city standing up and talking about the Alabama Constitution. New York Times, July 27, 2022, wrote an article that said in Alabama in 1901, when the Constitution was revised, wealthy landowners and businessmen rewrote the Constitution to cap taxes permanently for the wealthy. As a result, Alabama has one of the worst tax systems in the United States of America.
Wow.
Not only that, Alabama has the longest constitution in the world. 977 amendments exist in the Alabama Constitution, the longest constitution in the world. And the U.S. Constitution only has 27 amendments, and it was written 200 years earlier. Let me go on. Court fines in Alabama and fees in Alabama are the worst in the nation. In the last 10 years in the state of Alabama, court fees and fines have tripled.
That is sad.
That's why we got so many brothers and sisters driving around here with no license,
no insurance,
can't pay off tickets, can't go to work. Every time they go to work, their wages are garnished. Okay, you got brothers and sisters in some what they call high traffic areas. The reason that they stipulate high traffic areas in Alabama because those areas are predominantly of the lower wage income people exist in. They are normally in the ghetto. So when you talk about Montgomery, you're talking about the west side of Montgomery.
Yes.
Okay. Even some now up to the south side of Montgomery because the west joins to the south. Yes. Those are where the most tickets are written. They're written in the poorest areas. When you have a city like Selma, okay, hopefully the only caveat is that you have neighborhood police, meaning people that grew up in the city that will give you a break.
Yes.
You have judges that are on in traffic courts that grew up in the city that come back and they will give the brothers and sisters a break. But Alabama has the highest fines and fees than any other state in the United States when it comes to traffic, misdemeanors, and felony crimes.
That's a sad commentary, bro.
Hold on now, I'm not finished. The Alabama state government, this is what it says now, is not for the people. I wrote this. Because it is controlled. Listen at this now. The people of Alabama do not run their government. Understand this. That's why the black-faced, white-minded Negroes that are in state legislature, and I don't want to paint all of them the same because some of them stand up and fight.
Yes, they do.
Okay?
Yes, they do.
And especially some of our women down there.
Yes.
They fight tooth and nail. Okay, but listen. Who is the government of Alabama run by? It is run by trial lawyers, the Business Council of Alabama, ALFA, which is Alabama Land Federation Association, Farmers Association, Land Farmers Association, AEA, and their cohorts. Alabama Power. Listen, this is who the state government is run by them. The people of Alabama don't really have a say-so. Let me go on. Today, in the Black Belt area, 60% of the land is owned by outside investors who don't even live in the Black Belt. Let me say that again. 60% of the land is owned by private investors that do not live in the Black Belt area. That's why a train can stop in Uniontown and drop off coal ash, which has been medically, you understand what, proven to cause cancer.
Yes.
And to cause all types of other health issues.
Yes.
But they can stop and drop that off, and those people have to die not being able to be compensated, not having the issues addressed. That's why stuff like that can happen. Because 60% of the land in the Black Belt area is not owned by anybody that lives there. Let me go on. The Black Belt region, according to the New York Times, has the worst living conditions and health disparities in the nation. Listen at this. Some areas, they said, are equal to third world countries. Don't even have sufficient plumbing and watering.
Well, you know, Senator Stewart was on the floor fighting for
We talked about that.
a better water system.
He did mention it. Thank God for that. Alabama ranked 47 out of 50 states with children's health problems.
47 out of 50.
Yes.
We're at the bottom.
Listen, Montgomery County, Dallas County, Wilcox County, and Lowndes County rank as the poorest in the nation. I'm going to end with this because I know I done run everybody off. But let me end with this. Alabama provides one of the lowest monthly TANFs in the nation. TANF means temporary assistance for the needy. Do you know how much Alabama pays for those that need, poor people that need temporary assistance? Do you know what the monthly $344?
That won't even pay a power bill.
$344 is the average in Alabama.
That's average.
That is what they pay. And that is actually up from 2021. Alabama, one of the lowest monthly assistance. Thank your governor, Ivey. Okay? See, one day, black folk gonna believe me when I say this. How does a government work? Okay, state government. State government receives funding from federal government. Okay, that funding could be allocated in proportion. It could come down already proportional allocated.
Yes,
it could be strictly for Medicaid if you don't use it for Medicaid.
Education.
Okay, education, however. And then normally the state government, okay, sends it out through grants to organizations that are supposedly in place to help meet the needs as it relates to infrastructure, whatever it may be, education, to assist the poor with, maybe power bills, things of that nature.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay. This is what we don't realize, is that most of that money that's funded out through these corporations are no more than, like I said, money laundering organizations. What do I mean when I say that? Okay, they'll say that they provided the resources based on how the grant reads and what they must do in order to fulfill the grant, so that they can show that the money is used. But the majority of that money never gets to the people.
That's it.
That needs it.
That's it.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's it.
And then they redirect the money back into their pockets.
Is that what happened with that Red Cross scandal?
That's a whole different story.
Oh, okay.
That was about 4 years ago when they found out that the CEO of Red Cross had a $2 million salary a year, annual salary a year.
Oh.
Okay, so
yes.
But I've been saying this, my people, you need to listen to me. Okay, I'm not saying this from a standpoint of just putting down black people. No, I don't do that. I love black people too much. And the reason that I call out leadership is because I love them. It's not because I have anything against them. I don't know them personally. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing personal. See, when I read with a open spirit. Mm-hmm. And when I read the letter of Martin Luther King from the Birmingham jail, he talks about those black so-called pastors that said he was an agitator, said he shouldn't even be in the city. You understand what I'm saying? So listen, I understand that it takes somebody, you understand, that can shake the ship and that's not afraid. You understand? I understand that my job is to speak up when everybody else is silent, is to stand up when everybody else is sitting down, and to do something that makes a difference when everybody else has surrendered. And what you have today in the state of Alabama is you have black leaders that are playing political games with their people, period. All across the state of Alabama. Okay? We need some brothers, the Nation of Islam in Montgomery, black brothers that are not afraid. You understand? And black brothers that understand that this is nothing against any other people. We're not racist. It's impossible for black people to be racist because you don't have any power. In order to be racist, you got to have some power. You don't have any economic power. You don't have any type of power. You don't own nothing. You're the poorest people in the state. You spend more than anybody else. You got less than $10,000 in your savings account. If a depression hit today, most black people would be in a soup line. So we can't be racist, but we need brothers now that'll stand up and say, enough is enough. Enough of using our people. Like I said, somebody, when you got all of this money, did you add up all the money?
I couldn't. You lost me.
Well, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I understand your brain works a little bit different from other people.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Okay. I didn't say it was good or bad. Now, I just said your brain works a little bit different. I understand, but there ain't no problem. My brain works different from other folks. But listen.
But you're the financial brain, so.
Well, I should have added it up there. So
yes, you should have.
Okay. We're having fun, y'all. But listen, seriously, if something don't be done, then nothing will get done. And see, let me tell you this, Janice. Janice, and I can say this from a standpoint of just loving my people. I've been all over this world as a person in the military. You understand what I'm saying? Been deployed pretty much everywhere. And everywhere I've gone, the condition for black people are pretty much the same. That is to me, was very telling. You understand what I'm saying? And what I had a chance to witness was, in most instances, the leadership, so-called black leadership, has sold out to greed, materialism. They were rubbing shoulders with the enemy. They were not concerned about their people. Look at even in Africa, in the motherland. Look at the uprising of the young people in Kenya just 2-3 weeks ago. And they said, we're tired of our leadership selling us out. We're tired of our leadership leaving us out. And them riding around in their Rolls Royces and Bentleys and living in their mansions when we don't even have running water in our villages. Thank God for them. Thank God for a young lion in Burkina Faso right now that has risen up and says, no more will we allow our people to be treated any kind of way by the oppression that was systematic in institutionalizing and colonizing our country anymore. We're not going to accept that. Thank God for a brother in South Africa named Julius Malema that says no more. We're going to rewrite Parliament for our country. We got to thank God for Marcus Garvey. Thank God for Fred Hampton. Thank God for Sister Fannie Lou Hamer, Doris Day, all of these fighters. You understand? Toni Morrison, who we have her excerpt on the GoFundMe page. Women that stood for something, men that stood for something, that fought for the liberation of their people, didn't shuck and dance. See, when you love your people, like I said, that's when you can love everybody else. I'm for humanity. I love everybody. And like I said, have just as many white friends as I do black. May have more white friends than I do black. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? But all of my friends respect where my position is when it comes to helping my people. They don't frown on it. See, so what am I telling black representatives? You do not have to be afraid to state your position with some authority. Brother Frederick Douglass said that it's easier to raise children and teach them than it is to try to raise men. Do you understand that? And teach men again. So we have to start almost, that's why the Bible says, Paul said, I wish I could give you some meat to chew on, but you're still babies.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
The condition of black people is written all through the scriptures because the Bible is a black history book. Even though we teach it from a white concept in most of these churches in the United States on Sunday mornings. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's okay. That's why they're emptying out right now. You understand? Because people are sick of that. We have to, from now on, we got to get a backbone. I just ran down, and I could have kept going. From February to July. Now, I gave kudos, because we heard the news briefing 2 weeks ago about Selma. They met, some of the community got together, they had a nice little fellowship, and Sister Danielle reinforced that some things are coming just 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Now that football season has started, Negroes are distracted again. Because now all we're thinking about is football. Well, guess what? Professional athletes are not coming to rebuild Selma. College athletes not coming to rebuild Selma. You understand what I'm saying? And they're not donating part of their salaries to help rebuild Selma. But you go running up there and you spending all your money at the college football game when you could be putting your money into your city, helping to rebuild your city. Just shows you how brainwashed we are. You understand what I'm saying? Don't look sad. It's the truth. It's the truth.
I mean, it's really sad. It is sad.
Well, it may be sad.
It is sad.
It may be sad.
Their minds are that hardened and
listen. Go ahead. Finish your comment.
It's sad. I mean, to think that we have. I mean, I grew up in Selma. Selma is my heart and soul, but I had to leave because I saw the handwriting on the wall. And I got my children out of there because I knew what they needed for their future. I knew they needed better. And for those of my friends that are still there, I understand. But if you are still there and the conditions have gotten worse, what are you doing? I wouldn't be in Selma now and not be doing something or saying something. That's just who I am. Mm-hmm. I mean,
well, you got the opportunity now because we are putting Selma and the rest of the state of Alabama, not just Selma. We're going to report on Birmingham. Like I said, we're going to hit all the cities. Okay? Now, I don't want to just do this for Selma. If there's any poor people, white or black, I'm not discriminating against the actual color of the individuals that we help. You understand? Our mission is to help black people first, and then we help all other people.
Because they help, others help their people.
Yes. So our philosophy, though, is we love our own first. Love starts at home, then spreads abroad. So if we can take care of our people, you understand what I'm saying? Then our people, we can help take care of each other as a community, be it white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever the case. But you got to start with your, like I said, the biggest proponent of self-hatred is when you take care of others over yourself.
Exactly. And Brian, I want people to understand that we understand $1,000 may not be a lot. I get it. But what I do understand, if we get more, you do more. there's no cap to it. But what I do want people to understand is that when you don't have.
Don't say $1,000. Let me stop you.
Well, why?
No, don't say that. Listen, $1,000 to some people is like a million.
You didn't let me get there.
Yeah, but you said 1,000. We know $1,000
May not be a lot to some people.
But still, I don't want to frame it basically off of money. It may not be a lot to you, but $1,000 is more than somebody else.
I get it.
You understand what
I'm saying?
So
and I was going there with it before you cut me off.
But you said it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but you didn't let me finish.
All right, go ahead and finish.
Because some people said, well, what can I do with $1,000 if my roof is caving in?
Well,
okay,
but still.
Yes.
Still, the whole thing is $1,000 that they did not have.
Oh, exactly.
Okay,
Who would want $1,000 today?
And so I will say this, okay? The main objective here, like I said, is not just Selma. If there is a need in Montgomery, after we do this, after we see if black people will step up and put their money where their mouth is, don't send your tithe to the church. Send it to somebody that's going to put it back in the community and not going to put it in a Cadillac or a Mercedes, okay? Or their fine house. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
but Brian, also listen. And no amount is too small. I don't want people to think.
But and that's on there.
Yeah,
okay?
but then you need to reiterate
but still, that's on there.
Okay,
they can read. They can read.
Okay, but let's say that.
They can read. We don't. They know it's not about the amount being small or big.
Yes,
it's about you giving, and it's about the challenge. Are we going to step up and take care of each other? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is an opportunity for us to prove to ourselves that we can do this. See, let me tell you one thing that I found out, even when I was doing lecturing. Okay, and I would go to colleges. And the main thing, when I would talk about leadership to student bodies, black student bodies, do you know what the number one thing they said that hindered them when it comes to black leadership?
What was that?
The number one thing is that they could not trust black leadership with money. To do the right thing with money. Just about every college that I went to and lectured on African American history or either ancient African history, they said the difference between leaders back then and leaders today is you cannot trust black leadership.
I see that.
So this is what I'm saying, okay, is that everybody that gives to the GoFundMe, you can see the amount on there. You understand what I'm saying? It's real transparent. That's what I love about GoFundMe. Shows you the amount that's on there. We got a goal, and the goal that's there was recommended through the site itself. It's not a number I put on, okay? So you can see it. We will take every penny down to the penny, and we will put it back into the community. And we're going to broadcast it live on Facebook. Also, the families that we help, we want to interview and talk to them, and we want you to know what they're having to deal with. Okay? And not only that, we're going to reach out to news outlets like WSFA, WAKA, who covers Dallas County.
And WCOV.
Okay, WCOV, aka I think maybe, whatever the news outlets of local news outlets are. We're going to reach out to them as well. Okay, so all of these things, why we're doing this, and what I want people to know is there is black leaders.
There are black leaders.
There are black leaders.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. She corrects me on my English. You know, when I get excited, I just say anything. But anyway, listen, there are black leaders that can be trusted.
Yes.
Okay, I will put myself in that category.
Yes, you can be trusted with finances, for sure.
And anything else. If you give me your word stays with me. If you say something to me that you don't want to go anywhere else, listen, all I'm saying is there are black leaders that are not crooked.
Yes, exactly.
There are black leaders that are not only for their own self-interest. I've done pretty well in my life. And people that know me, know where I came from, know my story, they will say it is a success story in this country. I don't brag about what I've done. And I've done a whole lot, more than most men will ever do in 4 or 5 lifetimes. But you won't hear me bragging about everything I've done and all the awards, all the education. I don't do that. Because in the end, it doesn't mean anything if you don't do anything with it.
That's exactly right.
To try to help your people.
That's exactly right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And exposure sometimes is good.
Yes, it is.
Okay?
Yes,
so,
it is.
what does the scripture say about secret love? It says that, and I'm paraphrasing, exposure is better than secret love. Okay? Sometimes we just have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be honest with everything that's going on right now in these United States.
Yes.
Now, I've said over and over to you that 2025, I don't care who gets in office, Trump or Kamala, black people are going to be in a fix. Because what is coming economically to not only our community, but because we're below now the pyramid, we're already buried. Only thing they can do is continue to dig the hole a little bit deeper. What is coming to the black community economically can set us back 4 generations. You understand? Politically, what is coming? Because you're written out of the equation. You're not included. Like I said, inclusivity, you're not included. And you do not have anyone advocating for your inclusion. Now every group uses the civil rights. Every group uses affirmative action.
Yes.
They're rewriting the DEI right now. That's why they had to cut it out so that they can rewrite it to where it is going to be all inclusive and not appear to be racist in tone or in word. So when the new policies, mark this down. Mark this down that Brian said that when the new inclusivity policies began to hit the state, they will include everybody but the black community that is below the pyramid. You understand? Because they want to recruit bodies that can do labor. They want to recruit intellect that can do technology. You understand?
Yes.
Okay? So you're going to continue to see the promotion of private over public. You're going to continue to see the promotion of magnet over charter. You're going to continue to see the promotion of prison systems, super prison systems, being put in areas where you could easily round up black folks and drop them off on the plantation called the Alabama prison system. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, these are things that are real, family, whether you want to believe it or not. These are things that are going to happen. This state constitution is the worst constitution probably in the United States next to Mississippi. Okay? We do not have all of these quote-unquote lawyers that we have that are black. Mouths are sealed. Nobody talking about the 977 amendments. Nobody talks about how the lawyers, the landowners, the businessmen rewrote it so a certain group of people didn't have access to land, couldn't get the land that was stolen from them, would only receive partial
revenue if they were farmers. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about the oligarchs that run the state of Alabama, the trial lawyers, AEA, Alpha. I don't hear any black lawyers talking about that.
Make sure when you say Alpha, you say Alpha.
Well, I'm just saying this is Alpha, baby. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't need to specify. Just Alpha. Everybody know what Alpha is. So it's part of that. You understand? Nobody talks about it.
No, they don't.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. All of these so-called educated Negroes that's got law degrees, but I don't hear not one of them calling a news conference and saying, in 1901, the black wasn't considered to be a part of this state. It was still up under Confederate rule. You understand what I'm saying? And the way that the Constitution is written, even with all of these amendments in it, we do not have a chance to really prosper. Like I said, there are exceptions to every rule. I understand that. But who will address the real issues? You understand? While we're sitting down, like I said, in our fancy homes, and we're eating out at the best restaurants, and our children are the worst educated in the nation. We have the lowest scoring rates in the nation. We have the poorest health for our children in the nation. Nobody addressing that. Nobody's addressing that the housing, public housing in the state of Alabama, on average, is 50 to 60 years old. And people are still living in block apartments with copper pipes and with lead pipes and lead paint. Nobody addressing that.
Wow.
But yet we got all these educated buffoons with all of their fancy degrees, but they're not talking and advocating about that. And they got children and grandchildren, but they happy living in Wind Lakes, happy living in Pike Road and in the waters, separated themselves, you see, from the lower class blacks. Not concerned. Well, baby, it's coming to your neighborhood. I told you that last week. You understand what I'm saying?
You did say.
You can't run away. They're going to get you too. Yeah, you may be off the plantation, but you ain't far enough to where they can't get you. You understand what I'm saying? So we as a black people, until we start to address real issues and stop playing these political games and playing Russian roulette with our people, putting a gun to their head and saying, spin it, put the barrel to your head, and then pull the trigger, hoping that the bullet don't hit you. That's what we're doing. And it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that we have to deal with leadership that, like I said, don't have a backbone to stand up and say what needs to be said. And not worried about being popular. You understand what I'm saying?
A light.
Not worried about being the most liked and accepted.
Yes.
No, you got to be crazy. You understand what I'm saying? And then we can co-sign onto of our lifetime, in our lifetime, one of the worst genocides that we've ever seen in human history. Do you understand? And not feel any kind of way. What's wrong with black people? When you lost, this is just an average, between Africa and the America during the transatlantic slave trade and North America and the Isles, you lost over, on average, 13 million plus of your ancestors that didn't make it over. If you are alive and you got African descendancy in your bloodline, your ancestor was a survivor. But 13 million others didn't make it. Nobody talks about that genocide. You understand what I'm saying? And we should get reparations from every European ship-owning company. You understand what I'm saying? All of these, I can go into the European investors in the ships. Okay, that you had securities over here that some of your rich oligarchs up north bought into. Because when you look at this prosperity of the north was those that bought shipyards for import and export. See, that history, all of that is important. Yes. You don't have to know it, just as maybe a common man. But for those that are trying to advocate for the rights of their brothers and sisters, they need to know it. Because every part of the Constitution and law written violates the human rights of black people. That's why we're still trying to fight to get voting rights. That's why we're still fighting as it relates to certain gun laws. That's why we're still fighting, you understand what I'm saying? Just to be recognized in this country. It's a serious thing that we don't take real serious.
You're right on that.
Because we think we've made it and we think we fit into this culture when this culture continued to buy out our artists. Yes. And our artists continue to promote a system that have constantly devastated our community. They continue to promote a system to kill our children, continue to promote a system to undereducate our children, continue to promote a system that says you're only good for entertainment. Give them a ball, let them run down a field, put a mic in front of them, tell them that they need to demean each other. They're women. Now, black people, when we're looked at worldwide, if you are a black American, women are looked at as whores or bees. And men are looked at as gangsters or thugs. Okay? And then if you're boule, you're looked at as feminine men. You understand what I'm saying? And it's very unfortunate you got one party that wants to feminize all black men. They want to make all black men feminine, crybabies, like other men, no strong men. They don't want black men to be presented as strong black men that care about their families, that stand up and fight for their family. They don't want that. They want to show black men like Billy Porter, hair long and a dress on. And it's a sickening thing. And we have bought that hook, hook, line, and sinker. And then we're talking about we're going to overcome. What are you going to overcome? You're not going to overcome nothing. We don't even need to sing that song. We shall overcome. Why are you still singing we shall overcome? You should not. That song needs to be sealed for the next 50 years until we get ourselves together, and then we need to rewrite it. We have overcome. Why are you still trying to overcome? Because you have accepted that you are a second-class citizen. You have accepted that we are just going to be the permanent underclass. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, until we get some backbone, and like I said, stop lying to ourselves. Yeah. Stop wanting to feel good. Get out of this clique of who you like and who you don't like.
Doesn't matter.
You understand what I'm saying? Stop all of we all these secrets and, our mind.
It's going to be exposed.
Says that we have to be in a certain group to be accepted. Man, stop that. Women, black women, stop that. Stop isolating these sisters and teach them. Stop talking about them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Black brothers, stop putting down the young man on the street corner and start educating them. Yeah, those are the things that we have to start doing.
Yes. Definitely.
If we're going to make a difference.
Absolutely.
And like I said, our GoFundMe is to see who's serious. And like I said, we're going to go all over the state of Alabama. Any community that sends me an email, we're going to address the problem. And if we can help, we'll ask black people. I'm asking black people, even though some of my white friends have already called me and said, Brian,
yes.
we're going to support it.
Yes,
we
are.
got some of our white friends coming over here tomorrow to bring us the money.
Yes, they are.
Some money.
Yes, they are.
I appreciate them.
I do too.
But this is about getting black people to say we love each other enough, Brian, to where we're willing to help you.
Yes, yes.
We're willing to help you help our people. If nobody else do it, let's start doing it for ourselves. Stop talking about Wall Street. Why are we talking about a black Wall Street when we can't even raise a few $1,000s to try to help each other, when all these millions have created millionaires? Selma's got more black millionaires than any city in the state of Alabama.
Oh, Brian, that's not so.
Well, it may not be so, but if true to form and all the money's been stolen, they do. Okay, so I say it. You don't have to say it. I'll say it for you.
Okay.
Because I've counted up now 21, included the 24, 200,000, 100,000, 500,000. I've counted up $27 million for infrastructure, for housing. I don't see the programs. I don't see anything going on, like I said, of any significance. So you tell me where the money at. It's got to be in somebody's pocket. And like I said, if they got the money, call Brian.
Well, maybe it's sitting in an account waiting to get it to the right places.
Why do you need it sitting in an account?
To get it to the people that is going to do the work.
Well, how long does it take for somebody to say, I want some of that money to do the work?
Well, they have to be...
Well, I understand all of the preliminaries you have to go through. But are you really looking for somebody to do the work? That's the question.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
All right, our phone's about to die.
Phone's about to die. I guess they say, Brian, you need to stop talking. God bless you. Thank you for those that will help.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for indulging us tonight.
Thank you.
Right?
I'm tired.
And we will see you all next week. God bless.
God bless.